everybody.
Hello.
And welcome to a special edition of Duck Duck News. Here we have Kevin, the man behind the nipples, and myself, Jerry Chan. And we're going to be talking about... Let's use this prop. Damn it! Thor the Dark World!
Yeah, take it off.
Interesting. We had the pleasure of seeing this movie yesterday in a 7-hour Thor marathon. Yes, that was Thor, the Avengers, and the Thor. We got lanyards, all the lanyards. There's 2 sides. Pretty awesome. But anyways, that's not what we're trying to talk about. We are trying to talk about the movie you all want to hear about, Thor the Dark World. The new Thor movie. Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman again. Not Keira Knightley, of course. We have some things to say about it. And to do this, he's going to be cons and I shall be pros. Go ahead, Con.
Alright, first thing. I wanted a really big cat fight. You got your Jane, and then you've got your lady, what's her name? The Sith, whatever. Sith? Okay, yeah. And they both want a little piece of the Thor. They want a little piece of that cake. But
it is a delicious cake, Kevin.
Quite so. And you look at it, and then you see they're glaring at each other in one moment, and you're like, ooh, they're gonna have a big fight, and one of them is possibly going to be seriously injured. But then, nothing erupts out of it. Nothing. It's like a volcano that slowly comes up to an explosion, and it just rolls down slowly.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing not to see something big erupt from that, except I thought that it was kind of overshadowed because the fights that were actually in it were just amazingly choreographed. Like, the fights had humor, they had style to them, they had all the style. So stylish. And just like the glamour was all there, all of that god on god beating each other up until there's messy bolts with hammers, you know? It was all there, it was all...
Oh,
nice.
I definitely saw it.
Mm-hmm.
There were some really cool effects they used in them.
Yes.
And I liked a lot of it. But, then we have Jane. Jane's a very special woman. A very special woman in the fact that she only has 2 emotions. Horniness and curiosity. Curiosity kills the cat, or in Jane's case, almost kills the entire human population. Anything against that?
You see, Kevin here is the only one that has anything against Jane. He really had a lot of problems with her. Problems that none of the other people at Duck Duck Dynamite share. Kevin, or the rest of the human race share.
I can have my own opinion.
Your opinion is bad. Let's just say that. As I mentioned previously, maybe, I don't know if I did, but the humor in this movie was done much more correctly than in the first movie. In the first movie, there were a lot of like small, subtle humor things, or like not so subtle humor things. But in this one, they really got like, they had more of the Avengers type humor, like the small quips out of people's mouths that just made everything fit together tighter and made everything more funny, if you don't agree. Speak now.
I do agree with that. But where are the Avengers? We always see in these Marvel films, and I understand you can't make a film with all the Avengers, but then there should be some sort of like answer to that, you know?
Well, I mean, for most of it, they weren't even on Earth. Which is one thing that I really liked, is that you got to see a lot more of Asgard in this one. Like in the first one, you got to see the past, and that's all you really got to see. You got to see the road, the Bifrost, and the past. And that's it. Where in this, you really got like a whole world spelled out for you, you know? You kind of like got to see the people training in the background, you got to see the parties, and you got to see the awesome stuff that happened in Asgard, and the technology. And instead of that like weird floating thing to the right of the screen in the first one that really has no purpose whatsoever.
What exactly can the Guardian see? That's my question.
Well, I mean, he can hear pretty well. He can hear giant things.
He can hear things.
Okay, let's move on to the feels.
The feels?
The feels in this movie. In the first movie, I didn't really get those feels. Like, even when Thor was trying to pull the hammer out and he couldn't, I got a few feels, but really, they weren't all there. In this movie got the feels right. I really felt. I felt. right here. There are a few things that happen in this movie, to not spoil it, that really just, they made me feel. And please don't disagree with that, because it would make me feel even more, and the feeling would be anger, and want to punch you in the face.
No, I understand that. It was definitely a lot better than the first one. In the first one, the primary thing was Jane and Thor both wanted the hammer. If you get my meaning. But this one, there were a lot more different aspects to it, and it was a lot.
And Loki in this one was incredible. He was hilarious, he was epic and awesome, and I'm gonna leave it at that so I don't spoil anything.
Well, there is one more important thing.
Oh, this isn't a con though, or a pro. This is. Actually, it's pro. It's a very large pro. Thor nipples.
Greatest thing ever. Even my nipples can't compare to his.
It's very true. It's very, very true. Anyways, I give Thor a 9 out of 10 on writing, because some lines were a bit cheesy. I mean, it's a superhero movie, and I know that there's better writing out there. A 8.5 out of 10 for acting, because even though I disagree with Kevin a lot about Jane, I feel that some of her lines were a little shoddily delivered, because sometimes she did show only two emotions, but only sometimes. Kevin, you're wrong still. And special effects, 10 out of 10, because the special effects were amazing, just seeing Asgard in all its glory. It really felt like you were there, kind of, I guess, even though you're looking at a giant screen. And overall, I found it to be a 9 out of 10, because it was really good, and better than the first one, I believe. And yeah.
Well, in my review, I gave the writing an 8 out of 10, because it was very well done, but there wasn't anything revolutionary in it. Nothing like you could, write home a long letter about a long list. Oh my god, look at this, mama, and stuff like that. But I gave the special effects a 10 out of 10 because they were very well done, and you did feel like you were in Asgard, and I felt very powerful and special. But the acting I gave a 7 out of 10 because of a certain pretty little scientist named Jane who bothers me. Can't injure the trickster god. But the primary focus, again, is not on acting in a hero flick. So, you can kind of go over that. But I'll give it as well a 9 out of 10, because overall, it was a good film.
Movie. Good movie. Anyways, thank you for watching. This has been Duck News Review. Stuff. Thor, Dark World, out.